This is my client Lydia, and today is her wedding day. To prep Lydia's skin, I am soaking it in the watermelon drops from Glow Recipe. It's that time of year where we all need more hydration. For her brows, I'm using the color Wedge from MAC. This is a single eyeshadow, but you can see how it's picking up the colors that are in her hair. I mean, look at how much just adding a brow lifts up that side of her face. Now, as you can see, Lydia is a redhead, so we need to make sure that we're using the right colors because it can go bad really fast with redheads. For her eyes, I'm using my Ambience palette from Sigma Beauty, and then this nice shiny color that I'm putting on is Stila Starlight. I'm adding the Ardell Demi Wispies. These are some of my go-to lashes, and honestly, they look good on everyone. So these are a staple in my kit. I'm covering over that lash band with some chocolate eyeshadow and then adding some waterproof mascara. For Lydia's base, I'm using the color NC10 from MAC Studio Fix, and then I just added a tiny squirt of NC13. She wants to be more on the glam side, so I'm making sure that I'm really stippling this into her skin and bouncing very gently. This is all being done with my BK Beauty 101 brush, my Ride or Die. You have to be careful when you're working on someone who is very fair because you don't want to wash them out and make them look like a ghost, even though their skin's really light. For her concealer, I'm using the color Swan from the Too Faced Born This Way, and that's why I kind of put a little bit of that NC13 in there because I want her foundation to be light, but I also want it to have a little bit of depth so that she doesn't look, dead. When you're using colors that are too light for your client, they can also give a gray cast underneath the eye, and it's just not cute. I also went all around the perimeter of her face with the color Fair from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the airbrush bronzer. It's just going to give her face a little bit of structure, especially for pictures, and I'm also putting a little down her neck and on the sides of her nose. Now comes my favorite part where we're going to add a lot of life back into her face. This is Cookie from Benefit, one of my favorite highlighters, putting that on the top of her cheekbones, in around her tear duct, on the sides, and the end of her nose. All of these little details that you're doing at the end of the makeup application are going to make it look very bridal and more professional. It's that extra little TLC that's really going to set you apart. I always guide my brides when they're picking out a lipstick. She chose Orgasm from NARS. She got the lipstick and the lip gloss. So I'm lining with Strip Down from MAC, and then I'm putting this on top. Me and Lydia did a trial just a few weeks ago, so she knew exactly what to expect. When she saw herself, she loved it, and she didn't want any changes. So this is Lydia before I did her bridal makeup, and this is her after. Now, I do have a confession. Redheads are my absolute favorite to work on. Their coloring is so unique, and when you get the right makeup on them, they just completely transform.